pre-kindergarten classes now. What do you think of those?
Well, they've had Head Start.
Yeah.
And
Well, this is separate from Head Start.
Right, and I like the fact that it's never too early to nurture our children in how to read and write, and learn their numbers, and prepare for real world experiences.
Yeah.
The world is a lot different than when you and I attended school.
Yeah,
And
much different.
yeah, and going into our UCs and CSUs is a lot more difficult now.
Yeah.
They're reducing admissions. We're having higher requirements. You know, we need prepare our children to be able to qualify, be competitive, and have real world experiences so that when they graduate, they can get a job.
What do you think about all this testing that they have to do now?
But we don't want teachers teaching to the test, and we don't want people evaluating. There's a lot of time that could be better spent educating our children.
Yeah.
And you know, some testing's good, but now we have test after test after test, and the whole time the teachers are nervous about whether, you know, if their class doesn't score within a certain level, they're going to be focused in on. So they spend a lot of time testing or teaching to the test, and that's not good either.
I know a lot of teachers or parents actually are saying that we're concentrating so much on math and science that we're losing history, social studies, spelling for that matter.
Well, that's part of the language arts programs.
Yeah, and because we're concentrating more on science and math, and we're losing something. What do you think of
Well,
that?
I think there's a lot of, you know, the legislature does a lot of bills, and every year they want to throw something else, you know, into the studies. And if you look at the legislators, they would have, you know, every holiday and everything being studied. There's just so much time in a day, and the fact that our days are getting shorter and shorter in school because
Right.
of the state budget. You know, kids are spending less time in school than they were because of all the furloughs.
So
That's a big problem.
let's jump back to the campaign real quick. Tell us more about what you think about the new California open primary system.
Well, it's a little unusual for many people.
Do you think that'll impact this particular race?
No,
Or how do you think this will impact this particular
I
race?
think what you're going to see the top vote getter probably be a Republican, and then being a safe Democratic seat, the Democrat will win the general. That dynamic hasn't changed. Republican registration, the 57th, it'll be high with a turnout that'll be, the Republicans traditionally turn out strong in the primaries, so those numbers will you know, hold. Democrats, you know, we have probably have a lower turnout because, you know, our primary has already been determined. It's Obama will be the president.
Now that
for the Democrats. So.
You know, yesterday Senator Rick Santorum, he dropped out of the presidential race.
Well, I know he suspended his
campaign, and does that take a lot of the enthusiasm out of the election for Republicans, do you think, or is that
no, historically,
or does it even matter?
Historically, Republicans have turned out strong. They're going to continue to turn out. They've turned out when there's nothing on the ballot. They turn out, and they're going to come out again in this race. And that's why I'm confident you'll see the top vote getter probably being a Republican, and being only one Republican in the race. There's not going to be any separation. They'll leave 60% of the vote to be divided between a Democrat and a Republican.
Yeah, because I would think with Santorum suspending his campaign, the powers that be in the Republican Party, national and local, are now going to push to unite behind Romney if he's the candidate, or whoever the candidate is, so they can oppose the Democrats, unified, or as much unified as they can be.
Well, you still have a primary race. I mean, I don't believe Newt Gingrich has gotten out of the race, and
Neither is Ron Paul.
yeah, that's what I was going to say, Ron Paul.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, so there will be a primary election, and they're going to continue to run, which will have a positive effect for Democrats in the 57th.
Talk about real quick, because we're running out a little bit of time here, but talk about real quick in regards to California public pension system. Is it broken? Does it need to be fixed? How would you fix it?
I think it needs to be fixed. There's some problems.
What do you think
the
about
spiking issue
okay.
is a big problem. When you have managers and administrators and directors of agencies throughout the public sector getting huge bonuses that they apply to their retirement at the end of their careers, I think that's a major problem. The spiking problem's a major problem. No, that's not a rank and file issue. Rank and file guys can't spike their retirements.
Yeah.
You know, they leave with $30,000, retirements and but yet what we hear about is the guys who spike, like Bell, the city manager of Bell, who was going to walk off of $1 million retirement, and a lot of other big county and city and state administrators. Not so much in the state, because Jerry Brown has set that standard across the table, and he hasn't filled a lot of positions.
You think there'll be some kind of a law maybe passed
Well, I think
to end spiking?
Yeah. I think
Would you advocate that?
Oh, I
like that?
definitely would advocate the elimination of spiking. I think
That
that's
doesn't seem to be fair. My salary wasn't spiked when I retired.
Neither was mine.
I don't get a salary.
Yeah. Spiking's been a problem.
I'm teasing.
Yeah.
Rudy, you're great, man. Thank you so much. So how can voters get in contact with you?
Well, they can hit our website,
Which is?
Rudy Bermudez.
.com.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's one, and they can call our campaign.
Do you have a campaign headquarters open?
We'll be opening that shortly. We'll be putting that announcement out to the community.
Okay.
Is a number of people have been coming. Where are we
going to go? Where are we
going to
go?
And we've been able to obtain a campaign office from one of our constituents for
What city?
free. It's going to be in Norwalk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to add?
No, I think.
Why should people vote for you?
Because experience counts. We have major problems, and we need serious people who understand the issues and historical perspective of our community. We need people to address these issues, and we need people who are dedicated to doing this. We don't need people who are going to try and learn on the way. There's going to be 40 new members in the legislature, and they're going to be looking for the bathroom, including my opponent. While a person like myself, who already has been school board, city council, has been a commissioner for the state of California, a board member on the medical board and board of accountancy for the state of California, former legislator, understands what needs to be done and how to do it. And that's the reason why. Experience matters.
Rudy, we thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, good to see you again.